Hello everyone, my name is Clifford Syke D. Pagalan and I am going to tackle about the topic agrarian reform in the Philippines. So I will be sharing to you my screen first so that you will be able to see or witness my um, report presentation regarding this topic. So if you could wait a minute. So before anything else, what comes up to your mind when you hear the word agrarian? So the word agrarian means pertaining to land or uh, something that has connection to the word land. So and also by bifurcating the phrase agrarian reform, the word reform means reconstructing or redistributing the land to the people. Kay ang nahitabo mo gud ani was that um, the tenants or the farmers uh, witnessed inequality sa mga owners nga mga elite. And when we call elite, those are the leaders or mga landowners nga mga dato. They have everything that they need. They can make their tenants their bondage, or let's just say they can make them their slaves. So uh, simple terms, simple words, gihimo nila ilang tenants ug mga workers ra itself, nothing more, nothing less. So here sa first slide pakita na to ang symbols or mga visual depiction nga nag tackle siya regarding or nag showcase siya og mga pictures regarding crops, farmers, and agriculture. So next, uh, we have here a word with a missing letters. So to complete this word, the word would be agriculture. So why are we talking about agriculture? Because from the word itself, agrarian, it has something to do with agriculture. It is pertaining to the land. Next, also here, a word with missing letters, farmers. The word farmers, because back in the times, back in the history, farmers were uh, able to fight their rights until now. So mas dako siya og share sa atong history, and mas dako po siya share karon kay as we all know, farmers are the main distributors of our daily needs like rice and more. Next, so land reform. Land reform in the Philippines processes of redistribution of land from the landlord tenant farmers in they will be given chance to own piece of the land to improve their plight. So agrarian reform versus land reform. Agrarian reform is defined as the rectification of the whole system of agriculture. Agrarian reform is concerned with the relation between production and redistribution or the distribution of land among farmers. The processing of raw materials that are produced by farming the land from the respective industry. So it showcases the terms related to agrarian reform and the overarching history of land ownership in the Philippines. Agrarian reform refers to the redistribution and regulation of land to promote equitable access for farmers and landless individuals. So, gimugna kani siya nga law or what we call it reform para na equitable access ang farmers and that of the landlords. Kay di man mahitabo nga bisan unsa og fight sa mga farmers, dili man mailaha ang mga yuta because na may owner ang yuta. That is why they are fighting for equality, which means nga there would be a percent and percent share from the workers itself or the farmers itself, and that to the owner of the land. So the next slide, the fifth slide. So here we can see a caricature referring to farmers being a slave from debts of the landowners, especially private landowners. They were able to use of their farmers, and only their waste would uh, only their waste ang what's the term, makuha sa mga farmers gikan nila, because mas gipalabi man mas magpalabi man gid ang owner kaysa sa farmer. They have to benefit first from that, from their investment, una pa nila tagaan ang ilahang mga saop. Let's call them saop. So next, history of agrarian reform. It is a 100-year history of unfinished reforms after the colonizers invaded the country. So, dugay na gid ni siya nga law gibuhat kay from the history itself says that unfinished reforms after the colonizers invaded the country. So they have been doing the reforms of the lands or the agrarian reform back of those days, kay they have witnessed nga ang mga farmers luoy kay sila, gisubjugate ra sila sa ilang mga owners, I mean ilang mga land owners, o gigamit ra sila without a proper distribution of the shares sa ilang makuha or ilang plight. And next, before the Hispanic period, there were no owner cultivators, only communal lands. So land was communally owned and cultivated. There were no owner cultivators, as land ownership was a shared practice among communities. So back on those days, wala pa tag-iya ang mga yuta, kundi shared practice ra siya, shared ownership between the communities. So during the Spaniard, they implemented encomienda, royal land grants. So encomienda, this system granted land to Spanish colonizers, or they called themselves encomenderos, who could collect taxes and labor from the indigenous population. While initially for administration and Christianization, it led to exploitation. Next is the Maura Decree. Kaning Maura Decree kay nag-require siya og document from that of the landowners nga ma-register ilang land titles within a year. So many of the indigenous people lost their lands due to the lack of awareness or documentation. Muna nga ang katong mga maro nga mga landowners, ilahan na pong giangkon ang katong mga yuta sa mga indigenous people nga lack of awareness regarding the documentation, and that is one mistake of the government back of the day. And next is the unrecognized customs. Indigenous land practices were ignored, leading to disposition. Next is establishment of pueblos. The pueblos, these were settlements established by the Spaniards, clustering Filipinos for administrative efficiency. So, next would be the mortgage or the pagsasangla. People people or the Filipinos were forced to pay taxes or rent to friars, often leading to mortgaging lands. Kay ang mga Filipino sa una panahon sa mga Spaniards, ubos ra beta sa mga Spanish people. That is why we have they were forced to pay taxes man, so they were also forced to mortgage their lands, ilang gipasangla, or let's say term sa sangla, lease their lands. So next is the inquilino. It's the same thing with the mortgage. Next, during the Americans, they implemented Torrens system of land registration, certificate, and proper proceedings. Introduction of private land ownership through various acts, like a first example would be a Torrens system, and provided certificates of land ownership through formal registration. So, mao ni siya ang hitabo sa atong Mora uh, kaning Mora Decree, 1 year for title nga ang nahitabo ang mga indigenous people, they were able to comply the document maong they lost their lands, and ang mga maro nga mga landowners, they were able to take advantage of that lack of awareness of mga indigenous people. So next is the land registration of 1902, the private owners. So ang private owners, tagaan sila og acquisition of up to 16 hectares of public land. So naa sila power of documentation nga kuan sila maka naa sila acquisition nga maabot ang ilahang yuta into 16 hectares of public land. So next is the Friars Cadastral Act, Survey of Land, and the Friars Land 1904 lease and sale. So Friar Lands Act of 1904 managed the sale and lease of lands previously owned by Spanish friars to private individuals. So ang mga sa kaning acts of 1904 sa Friar Lands, they managed the sale and lease of lands previously owned by Spanish friars to private individuals.